Welcome back to the Skill Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's one new year, same me. Welcome back to the Skill Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 114 of What's on the Bench Weekly. That's still the same. That hasn't changed. Welcome to the show. If you're not familiar with What's on the Bench, it's where I take you through all the projects that I'm working on, things that have shown up, packages delivered, products tested. So catch all, subscribe, hit the like button, etc., etc., etc. Here we are. It's 2025 now. I'm recording it on January 1st. Today, the day you're watching this, presumably will be January 2nd. Happy New Year. Hope you made it through safely and you're ready to build some trucks. Let's start with the Umagine C303 build off or build along, I guess. There's lots of people participating, which is really super cool to see. Not everybody has decided to do the flatbed like I've done here. Some are doing the full van style one. There's a couple of 6x6s floating around, which is also super cool. There's been a lot of progress on my end of things here. All the panels have now been sanded. It's all ready for a quick filler primer, which as soon as the weather gets all I need is like 2 more degrees. I just need it to be like 8 or 9, and then I'll go primer this all day, every day. Twice on Sunday. I've done a lot of extra printing. All of the detail pieces are now in the bed, which I'm carefully positioning so you can see that there. Oh boy. So yeah, all that stuff's been printed now. Bumpers, some of the interior, and this is actually really cool. The interior portion that you're seeing in there now, it is all enclosed. When this project first started, there was no interior panel. So I reached out to a head RC who is the designer of these files, and I said, hey, great file. We're doing a little build along on the Scale Builders Guild and our Discord server. Any chance you might be interested in making an interior for this truck? He's like, great idea. I'll do that. 2 days later, it was done. If you've already purchased the file, you can re-download it and it's all right there for you. It's really, really nicely detailed and very accurate to the real C303, which is great. The seats are a part of that, and the seats are actually quite nice. They go together in 2 pieces, and these little hinge mounts there keep it all in place, and they do mount to the bottom of the interior panel, so it's all like right there. I used my Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon, of course. I did a little AMS work, so the dashboard, which is a little hard to see from the angle that you're seeing it, although it's there, you can see it. I did this matte gray PLA with some matte black PLA, and then I even did some of the buttons in yellow, just to kind of flesh it out and give it a bit of life without having to do a bunch of detail paint work. Not that I'm not going to do that, but I figured just let the dash be as it is. I still haven't really decided on a color yet for this this funny looking truck. But since we're getting close to that, why don't you put down your favorite color choice in the comments down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And there are a bunch, so Rebecca's been doing double duty overtime work over the holiday break answering all those comments, so keep them rolling in. I know she loves going through them and sharing all the positive ones with me. But speaking of you and commenting, if you are a channel member, you get to see all of this content early, including a lot of other videos, including how-tos, tips and tricks, travel logs, whatever mood strikes me. In fact, just before New Year's Eve, I did a show where I just kind of chronicled all the builds that I had done over this year and shared that with my channel members. All of these lovely people. Thank you so much for participating in that, making that a huge success. I really appreciate it. And it's a much more intimate way to interact with me. That doesn't sound weird at all. Coming along real nice. Got tons of detail stuff happening. And in fact, on the Discord, there are so many people that are making these that they're all finding different tips and tricks to kind of build this out and make it even more than it already is. So if it wasn't for those people doing that, there'd be a lot of parts missing. which is really super cool. It's a fun way to get this whole year rolling. So definitely consider that if that's something you're interested in. Links down below. All right, on to the next thing. Next for today, hey, look at how, it's so funny to see these little guys on the bench because they are small in comparison to everything else I work on. And I'm starting to find that the eyesight is starting to weaken. I need these glasses a lot more often than I used to. And even working on this tiny stuff is getting to be a bit of a pain. But I suffer through it to share cool stuff with you. And that cool stuff is a new micro setup, the Micro Python for the SCX24. It looks fantastic. It works even more fantastic. You get a nice machined aluminum transmission kind of mount. It's a bit of an update. It does require a little bit of taking things apart of the old transmission to make that work, but totally worth it for a FOC-based miniature little ESC. Look at the size of that thing. It's hilarious. It's about a third of the size of the receiver that I'm using. But in this setup, it works great. One major change that I had to make, and I'm still kind of fiddling with this a little bit, is that the existing electronics tray / battery tray does need to be trimmed or removed entirely. I'll probably end up removing it entirely and replacing it with a new printed version that will sit over this new transmission hub, because it does raise the motor up slightly because it is obviously a much larger motor. They couldn't have it sit under here. So a few minor adjustments have to be made, but I guarantee you the performance upgrade on these little SCX24s from a Furitek system are completely worth any of the trouble you might have relocating electronics. Because believe me, it's a really great setup. It works so well, and that FOC at this scale really does help with control of these tiny trucks. Another nice bonus of the Micro Python from Furitek is that it still has the Bluetooth module, so you can still do all the adjustments you would need from your telephone, which is pretty cool. I should really stop calling it a telephone. It sounds like I'm 80 years old. So there you go. Nice little update to the Lexus GX470. Yes, all right. And made this truck a whole lot better. I'll be sure to put a link down below for that Furitek system. I think it's a pre-order right now, but definitely worth checking out if you are into this small scale stuff. And that's all we have to say about that. On to the next thing. Next on the bench, Reefs RC sent me their new crawler tires. We've got the cheaters and the crux. The crux of the matter is we're all cheaters. But I can tell you right off the bat, I know where these are made. Yep, this cheater tire here, this is very much a pin style tire, very much not a scale accurate tire in any way, because these would totally suck in real life. But probably work quite well on sort of that kind of sandy but very abrasive rock. I can see this being a real popular choice. The foams feel quite soft. I mean, it is a memory foam of sorts, but I wouldn't say that this would be something I would stick with for very long. I would want to get a more dual stage, like a harder inner, maybe a medium outer. They do say they're 475 in height, which I love checking because some people don't know how to measure tires. I'd say on a good day it's more like a 4, and whatever is between 75 and 50. It's more like a 4.6-ish. Maybe if it flattens out a bit, yeah, then we're getting closer to 4.75. But very nice looking tire. I have not had a chance to test this, and likely won't have a chance to test it anytime soon because the temperatures here are not a great indicator of tire performance because it's bloody cold. That cheater does look like a good tire. I suspect it'll be a comp tire people will give a try to. Now let's take a look at the crux, which is a much more scale accurate ish tire. I'm not sure what it's modeled after, probably nothing. But this one's also a 475/19 tire, and this one is also, it's sort of not quite not quite 475. This one's a little bit taller than the Cheater though, so I guess they're both cheating less. But good looking tire. The compounds feel pretty good. Because the tread pattern is so much more tighter on the crux, I feel like this one's going to be more like your loamy conditions. I wonder if they actually, like, if they say anything about where they're gonna go. No. I wonder where they've been tested though. That would be interesting to find out. If you guys have an idea of where these tires were tested or on what conditions they were tested or if they were tested, throw a comment down below. I'd love to hear more about what you might think of these. I am going to say the foams are too light. They don't have enough firmness, I'd say. They're lacking in firmth. Good looking tire for sure. I'll get these mounted up on some wheels in the next little bit, and we'll do our best to, like, hopefully there'll be like a little bit of a break in the weather and we can go try these tires out. Regardless though, thanks Reefs for sending these my way. I am very keen to give them a try. We do have a lot of competitions coming up this year, so be good to know what tires work. All right, we'll get more going on these in the very near future. Thank you very much, Reefs, for sending those my way. Of course, links down below to everything that I share with you today. All right, on to the next thing. Next on the bench, I've got this box that I made. Well, I assembled it anyway. This is one of those Booknook things. Josh and I were supposed to build these live on our Christmas Day live stream. Yeah, Christmas Day, wow. But of course, he took it out of the box and took one look at it and said, I'm not doing that. And I persevered and I finished mine. Mine's all about pirates and their booty. Yeah, Ocean's Rogue Harbor. And it's sort of like a bar, and there's a whole bunch of little bits and pieces in there. And it took friggin' forever, like 5 hours to put this thing together, but it is pretty cool, especially if you like words that are spelled incorrectly. These are all over Amazon and Instagram, and I guess if you're really into books and you've got a lot of books on the shelf, you stack a bunch of books between this, and then you've got this thing, and it's like, oh, that's neat. Cool. But it really did satisfy my modeling and tiny bits desires. So, yeah, it's nice. I'll put it on my bookshelf next to all my manuals for all of these trucks. That counts as reading. You know what? I don't think there's much else. Oh, here's a pile of stuff. I finally finished printing all the printed parts for the Rockabilly build that I'm just literally getting started. I've got a whole bunch of this stuff. I've got a whole other set of all of this same stuff for Frank, RC Fabricator, who did a really great job of putting this cage together for me. And I think I've already shown this off, but you can see there's been no progress whatsoever. This was an odd break. It didn't really feel like there was much of one, but I know I did a lot of things, like I accomplished a lot of stuff. Maybe not hobby related stuff, but it's stuff nonetheless. And I'm really excited about this build, because I know Josh is about to get started doing another one, so I'll be able to sort of follow along with his build. And that's going to be great, because you know, having somebody already done it around to show you how to do it is going to be great. Uh-oh, this doesn't fit. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Wow, that fits perfectly. That's great, man. This is going to be a fun build. I'm really excited about this. And speaking of builds, we got to get back on doing some more live builds. I've got a whole bunch of Tamiya kits that definitely need to be built sooner rather than later. I'm going to be doing some traveling, and I'll need to have those ready for that time. So get ready for more live builds. I think they're a super fun way to spend some time together with you guys, my audience, and I look forward to doing that. And yeah, that's probably a great place to start for this new year. Not a whole bunch of actual progress on anything, but lots of potential. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.